making the both approval process and the payment process as simple as possible for the end user. Obviously, you want to get paid, you want to collect that, you don't want to have any awkwardness in that situation. And especially in times like now, virtual interactions in a lot of cases can be much preferable than face-to-face. I'm sure a lot of you guys are essentially cleaning empty houses, right? That probably not as many clients are sitting around and sitting in that space with you. So we kind of wanted to shine a light on a couple of things that ServiceMonster can do that can help with that. But we have two different feature sets. One of them is the order approval process, and one of them is what we call the invoice page, which is essentially just kind of a payment portal where you can send a link to the invoice, and the end client can then pay for that on their own time. So, Mary, if you want to kind of take over here for a second, maybe show these off one by one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So first, we'll want to go into our marketplace. This is where you can find information about both of those pages. And we'll go ahead and look at the order approval first. So, our first step, got to get the order approved before we can go out and do the work and then send out that invoice. So you can click on the order approval here. Here you can read some of its details. And then to configure it, you'll go ahead over into the configuration tab, and there'll be a link here that you can click on to get that started. Here you can also customize how long your link should be valid for. So basically how much time they have to approve or disapprove of it. And then it also lets you know here that in order to add this link onto a template, either in a email or a text message, you'll want to use the order approval link merge field. And there is a separate merge field for both of our emails and our SMS templates. So that is something to be aware of. To see what this looks like, we have a little preview link here you can see. So here you'll be able to see your business's details, the site address, order number, and then the line items for the order. So the client can go in here and accept or decline. If they do accept, it'll open up a window where they can type in their initials. So you can get their initials on that as well, and then submit. And so then how this looks in the system is if we hop over to our order list here, you'll be able to see if orders are approved or declined from this list. So I'll be able to see on the side here, I can open up my order approval approved orders list here, and I can see I have a little check for each of my orders that are approved. And if I open up the order itself, I'll have a little tab here that says approved as well. So I can see that right on the order itself. You can also set it up to get an email notification if your order has been approved as well. And as well as if you are just on the order page, we do have a dashboard here, and here you can see if you have any unscheduled approved orders. So if someone's given you an approval and you haven't gone in and scheduled that work yet, you'll be able to see that in here as well. So that is the order approval essentially. And then we do also have the invoice page. So the invoice page allows you to set up a link that you can send out via text or email to your clients that they can use to follow and then send the payment your way. You do have to have integration with Authorize.net or Stripe set up in order to do this though. So keep that in mind. But here again, we can open this up, and then from the configuration page, again, you'll be able to enable this feature if you do have either one of those payment processing systems set up with your ServiceMonster account. And then for this as well, when you're sending out an email or a text to the client, you'll just be including a specific merge field that does turn into that link that you're sending out that the client can then go through and send the payment your way.
Do you want to show kind of an example of just pull up an email or an SMS template and just show those the merge fields?
Totally. Here, I'll just go ahead and open up an order. So when I go to, in this case, send the email, if I click on anywhere on the email, you can either open up a template to do this or just, write out your own email yourself. But if I go to the advanced options button here I can scroll through all of my merge fields. And in here, I have the order approval link, and you'll notice I have one that is just the approval link and another that's for SMS specifically. So if you are sending a text message, you'll want to use the SMS one. But for order approval, I can just click on that to add that in. And then as well,
You might not have Authorize or Stripe set up here.
Yeah, because I don't have the setup on this account. I can't pull the merge field for the payment link. Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, the kind of the to reiterate here, this is gonna eventually, save you guys time, energy, effort. Like Joe mentioned, if you're an exterior cleaner, especially, you can kind of go through this whole process virtually. Especially if you guys have something set up, whether you use just flat out something like Zoom to just, schedule meetings with the client to have face to face, whether you have like dedicated sales software, like maybe ResponsiBit or something to kind of have recorded messages that go out, whatever it might be, you can go through this whole process, show them what you're going to do, send them the quote, they approve, schedule yourself to get the work done. They're out of the house, right? Or they're in the house and just never interact. You go and you do all the work. Another thing that Joe mentions is you can get, some of the Google satellite images. You can basically estimate, how much work needs to be done, right? Depending on where they are, how much data exists. And then finally, you send that payment link, and again, you've never actually interacted face to face, and you've gotten paid.